Hello everyone, TT here, your coach at the Fire Crown Dallas, and today we're covering my RQA Week 6 battle versus the Compton Caterpies and their coach Coobykins. On our side we have Garchomp, Heatran, Ursaluna Blood Moon, Rodon Mo, Enamorous, Serena, Vaporeon, Galarian Articuno with the Terra types of Psychic, Fighting, and Steel, Annihilate, and Dewpider with Terra types of Water, Ground, and Steel. And my opponent has a very threatening team with stuff like Great Tusk that really puts the hurt on Heatran and Annihilate. Golden Go, who can stop me from spinning away hazards that mons like Uxie, Diancie want to set. Zapdos, who's an overall just scary mon in general. It could be defensive, it could be offensive. And no one on this team except for Heatran really wants to take a hit from it. That or Terra Steel, Galarian Articuno. Next up is Weavile, which basically has a good matchup into basically every single Pokemon on my team. Even Galarian Articuno if it terrestrializes into a Fighting or Steel type. Because of this, we're going to need to prepare very well for this Weavile as to not get swept by it, though. Next up is Uxie and Diancie, again to set rocks, be defensive pivots. And overall just annoying mons with stuff like Thunder Wave, Toxic, Knockoff, Foul Play. You know, all the usual stuff. Next up is Milotic, which can also act as either a special or physical wall, or both if he decides to run Marvel Scale and be specially defensive with Flame Orb. Next up is Arcanine Hisui, another threatening mon just like Weavile. It hits most of my team very well with its stabs for either neutral or super effective damage. And if it's running a Choice Scarf, it can outspeed my whole team. Next up, he has this Terra Appleton with the Terra types of Dragon, Fairy, and Steel. And then his Terra Grafai with Terra types of Poison, Flying, and Dark. His Appleton can be annoying with Leech Seed, Draco, Meteor, Apple Acid, stuff like that. And it also can have Thick Fat to stop me from dealing super effective damage to be done as not very effective damage. Mainly for mons like Heatran, who rely on hitting Appleton with a fire move. If it doesn't Terra. And then Grafai with Prankster can do many annoying things. It can Toxic Us, it can Parting Shot, and give him extremely fast momentum out to something like Weavile, Arcanine, Tusk, Zapdos, or Golden Go even. And with the ability to turn into a flying type, it's no longer weak to ground moves. And it usually outspeeds mons like Ursaluna easily with a space 110 speed. So this week we're going to have to play this very well to not only get around the Weavile, but the rest of his team as well. It's very threatening. So on to my team. The team I brought is Enamorous with Yachi Berry to deal with Ice Shards in case we can get up in agility and he has an Ice Shard and tries to, outspeed us. He won't KO us with Weavile. We have Cute Charm because I'm using a special set this week. We don't really need Contrary. So, and I have with 48 defense, EVs, Max special attack and 208 speed. It's him in nature. This is the outspeed max speed Zapdos. And Moonblast, and our moves are Moonblast and Earth Power, which is a combination of hits basically his whole team, no matter what he does, even if he tears. With Calm Mind and Agility. Calm Mind to help me set up and deal even more damage, and Agility to outpace stuff like Weavile, that if it tries to again Ashard me, we have Yachi Berry to deal with that. Next up comes Garchomp, who is going to be running a defensive set this week for Weavile, and probably going to be one of our many Weavile counters, and also a good counter to Great Tusk if Weavile goes down early to one of my other counters. With Impersonate, with max HP, 4 attack, max defense, with Impersonation, with EQ, Endure, Stealth Rock, and Spikes. I know Zapdos walls this, and you may be wondering why Endure. This is so Garchomp can live a triple axle from Weavile and get off Rocky Helmet damage. And even more Rocky Helmet damage than the Weavile would originally take if Chomp doesn't have Endure and just dies straight up to the first triple axle he does. Next up is Ursaluna Blood Moon with Chapel Berry. This is for Tusk. Great Tusk close combat, so he never KOs me with CC, and we can fire back with a heavy power Blood Moon with max HP for defense and max special attack with the modest nature, running Blood Moon, Earth Power, Vacuum Wave as a way to clean up Weavile, and finally Moonlight to help keep it healthy. Because Ursaluna can actually put in some great work versus his team if it stays healthy enough. Next up is Vaporeon, my specially defensive check to stuff like Golden Go, to Zapdos and Golden Go, mainly Golden Go, as Zapdos still has super effective electric moves with Flip Turn, Scald, Wish, and Haze. Flip Turn to go on out of there against a bad lead matchup. Scald, so we can try to burn one of his physical attackers to try to switch in, like Great Tusk, Weavile, anything else, in Appleton, stuff like that. Next up, and Wish is to keep Mons healthy, like Vaporeon itself, Ursaluna, if we can't get off of Moonlight, Enamorus, Chomp, Annihilate, Heatran, basically anything, really, with max. And then Haze is to stop setup. So if he tries to set up a bulk up versus Vaporeon, we'll haze away his setup. Same thing if he tries to go Sword Stance Weavile or Nasty Plot Golden Go. We'll haze away their stat buffs and then either Scald or Flip Turn out. Next up, we have my dedicated lead here, Choice Scarf Annihilate, to out with max attack, 22 defense, and 234 speed. This outspeeds max speed Tusk without a rapid spin buff, without a speed buff. And it's running, and it also is Choice Scarf to outspeed max speed Timid Weavile that's not running a Scarf. 22 defense helps us take less damage from stuff like Triple Axle, ISO Crash, Knockoff, and all that. We're running Rage Fist as a way to hit Uxie and stuff like that. Cease, because I expect us to be able to take a hit from something. CC, Rock Slide to hit Zapdos, and U-Turn as a way to get on out of a bad matchup. And finally, we have our last Weavile counter, Heatran, with Chapel Berry, Flash Fire. Flash Fire is in case for Arcanine Hisui, so that way if he choice locks himself into Flare Blitz, Heatran can just switch in, take no damage from Flare Blitz, and force Arcanine out. with max HP, max defense, and 4 special attack. It also has Chopper Berry to deal with Weavile's low kick. Good, and can KO back with has a good chance to KO back with Flamethrower. Rocking Bold Nature with Flamethrower, Earth Power, Stealth Rock, and Will-O-Wisp. So can we defeat Coobykins and his Compton Caterpies and go 5-1 in the RQA? Let's find out now. So as you see, the teams here are in mine. I have Namorist, Garchomp, Ursaluna, Porygon, Ape, and Heatran. My opponent brought Appleton that can Terra into Dragon, Fairy, and Steel. Great Tusk, Weavile, again, which I expected. Zapdos, which can be a threat of its own if it's offensive. Uxie, which again I expected. Grafai, something I did expect too. I'm surprised no Golden Go here though, because he does would block spin from Serena. It's not the best in here. Serena is not the best here, but still, like, I wanted to get rid of rocks as long as I spawn on like Tusk, Uxie, Appleton, or Grafai. I was basically fine. But as long as I don't Serena's not in versus Weavile or the Zapdos, it can spin away freely. So I'm gonna leave Weavile, like I said earlier. And he leaves the Grafai. So I'm like, alright, I could CC here and possibly kill him depending on his spread. But I'm like, I just wanna U-turn out here in case he Terras turn 1. He goes for either Parting Shot and goes for Toxic, something like that, you know. Or he just switches immediately and tries to read a CC with Zapdos or Uxie. So I'm just like, U-turn's safer. Zapdos does have the chance to stack Paralyze me, but I doubt it. But Zapdos also can't risk taking a rock slide from Ape either. So he Toxics me, revealing he's Prankster, which again, kind of expected him to be Prankster. And Toxic, U-turn, that's 15. I then go Heatran to not get Toxicked. And I click Will-O-Wisp here, I think. No, I click Stealth Rocks. No, I click Stealth Rocks, yeah. He knocks off with a crits, doing 20, knocking on my Chople. I set up rocks. He Parting Shots out into Uxie, which I Flamethrower on. Does 21. I switch out to Vaporeon because it's the safest move I have. He sets his own rocks. He knocks off my Vaporeon's lefties. I flip turn out into Enamorus because, well, it takes rocks damage. If I can get this mon is basically set up fodder for Enamorus. You can set up either Calm Mind or Agility. I opt to go for Calm Mind here, mainly because, again, I expect the Weavile to think I may be running Scarf or something to outspeed it. Because why would I bring an Amorous out like this against the Uxie so quickly? If I don't have a way to deal with a Weavile coming in and forcing it out, too. So I'm just like, okay, I'll go for Calm Mind first, and see what happens. I should have went for Agility here in hindsight, since Weavile can again just come in and triple axle me and kill me if it really wants to. Because triple axle, because Yachi Berry only weakens the first hit of triple axle, but the rest of the hits deal normal damage. So yeah, I should have Agility there instead of Calm Minding, but I Calm Mind anyway. He U-turns with Uxie. Again, good play from him. He goes Weavile, which again I expected. And now I'm in a situation where I'm like, Well, what do I do here? I don't want to switch and chomp on an Axel. Vaporeon doesn't want to eat an Axel to the face either. Ursaluna doesn't want to. And Heatran could, but he can just low kick and kill me next turn if he's not banned. Plus, Heatran also invites in Tusk for free. So I'm just like, okay, I'll stay with the Namorous here and sack it, and hope he goes for like Ice Go Crass or Ice Shard, which Sonic can survive. Maybe he doesn't have Triple Axle. Who knows? So yeah, he brings the Weavile. I Moonblast here as he Triple Axles. First hit, Yachi Berry weakens it to 26 damage. And he only gets one hit Triple Axle. Ooh, yikes. That's gotta suck. So yeah, he only gets one hit Triple Axle. I Moonblasted him and Weavile dies. Which is great for me, because it means now the rest of my mons no longer have to worry about Weavile anymore. Again, it was a big threat this week, and taking out this threat was amazing for me. Because Weavile runs through my team with ice coverage and knockoff. It just does, and it's not even funny. So that being going down is great. And then he brings in Grafai. I decide, again, staying in. Because if he gunk shots me and Namor still did his job and still killed Weavile, which is a job well done, so I'm willing to sacrifice it. But he parting shots instead of gunk shots. And brings in Uxie, so I'm like, okay, I'll just click Moonblast. I clicked Earth Power in case he stayed in, and I survived, but he didn't. When Uxie, so then I Moonblast the Uxie, bring it down to 5. He Ice Punches me, which is a surprise move from him, revealing that he has no Thunder Wave, which is great for me. But if Uxie switches out here, it will die to Rocks next turn, unless Tusk gets a spin-off. Which is another great thing for me, because Uxie, again, annoying Mon all around. But it also tells me Ursaluna is not aren't as free into this as I would originally think they are. Which is good news for me. Good news for me to hear, as I now to know this. He then switches out to Grafai. I Moonblast again, just wanting Chip again, sacking Nemorous because it's done its job. It killed Weavile, which is the biggest threat on the team. We don't need it anymore. He finally knocks off and kills the Namorous. Cute Charm activates, so it doesn't matter because the Namorous dies immediately. And then bring in Heatran so as someone else doesn't get toxic and he parting shots out. Again, I expected that. He goes Appleton and a Flamethrower. And, ooh, that does no damage. 9%. That's definitely thick fat. So, what Appleton's thick fat? I Will-O-Wisp to get some residual chip on it. It reveals Leech Seed, so I switch out to Ape, who's toxic, to try to get off some damage. He Leech Seeds me again as I U-turn, trying to get rid of the seeds so he doesn't get passive recovery on any Mon. I U-turn to Zap, does 12. I go out into Ursaluna since it's the best answer I could think of for Zapdos. His Hurricane does 54. I confuse. I click Blood Moon, and I hit myself with Confusion. I go Heatran, panicking because I'm wondering what to do, and I don't need it anymore really as much. He goes Tusk. I go Chomp because that's my dedicated, physical switching. He Headlongs for 37. I Rough Skin, and Rocky Helmet hurts him a lot. I Endure, expecting Ice Spinner. He Ice Spinners and criticals me, takes more Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet damage, and then he Rapid Spins to kill Chomp, Moon Rocks, but takes a lot of damage in return, and goes on to 11%. I then bring an Ape here, because again, I'm scarfed. And I click CC, because it hits everything, basically. UC dies to CC, Zapdos won't, but it'll still do a lot of damage either way. Grafai doesn't want to take CC either. And I outspeed the Tusk even at +1 speed. So it's like, there's no real point to go anything else here. Annihilate, I didn't just click CC here. And he lets Tusk go, which is great for me. He knows I'm scarfed now, if he didn't already. He then goes Zapdos. Obviously, I didn't go Heatran again. Heatran's the least useful member here, because it no longer has a purpose with Weavile gone. Sure, it can block Toxics, but like, besides that, it's basically useless. So he Hurricanes me, does 20, and confuses me. He then discharges to kill Heatran. I didn't go Ape again to Rock Slide, hoping for a flinch and to get big damage off. I don't flinch, he discharges and does 39. Ape goes to 13% from Toxic. And my Toxic damage goes up to 12% here. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just Rock Slide again. I know he can switch, but like, again, I'll die to Rocks. Plus Toxic if I do switch. So it's like, there's basically no point switching here. Except if I want to save Ape for a sack when I don't have an answer to something, to one of his moves. So I just decided Rock Slide again, and he brings an Appleton. Rock Slide does 25. I decide now's my chance to go Vaporeon and wish for Earth. I decided to go Vaporeon here and save Ape as a sack to Rocks. Because Vaporeon can wish up Ursaluna, who's low right now. If Ursaluna can stay healthy, then it can beat Zapdos and the rest of his team with just Blood Moon alone. And it can use Vacuum Wave to clean up Uxie and stuff like that. And Zapdos once it gets low. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, that's my play here. So I just decide go Vaporeon. So I switch to Vaporeon. He recovers to try to, he gets hurt by Burn. I wish. He Leech Seeds. I click Flip Turn here into Ursaluna. Again, trying to heal it up. Ursaluna takes Rocks damage. He tries to see it again, misses. I then heal up from Wish. And now I click Blood Moon here for free. Does 65. He leaves on 20. He goes Leech Seed. And this is where I decide, okay, I'm going to keep Ursaluna healthy. So I'm just going to stack Ape here, knowing that he's going to Leech Seed and keep Appleton low. Because when I switch out to Ape, he won't be able to get a Leech Seed off because Ape's at 1 and will die to Rocks. And also help keep him low with the help from Burn. An Appleton low actually helps me because Ursaluna can take it out, deal with it much easier when it's low. So I was just like, okay, this is the turn I sack Ape because I can't kill him with Vacuum Wave, can't kill him with Earth Power. So I just could decide to sack Ape here to Rocks damage to keep Appleton low. And I go Ape, sack him to Rocks. Appleton switches out to Uxie, surprisingly. And I go back to Ursaluna, 66%. He knocks off, and I click Moonlight here because I can just kill the Uxie to keep Ursaluna healthy, and I can just kill Uxie with Vacuum Wave. So I'm just like, okay, I want to keep Ursaluna healthy, and losing my Chapel Berry isn't a big deal for me either from the knockoff. So I'm just like, okay, Moonlight here, and then I click Vacuum Wave, kill Uxie, 5%. He goes Grafai to Parting Shot or Toxic. He goes Toxic. And I click Blood Moon, not wanting to deal with Terra Flying Grafai. If he clicked Terra Flying, then he would, resist Earth Power. Be immune to Earth Power. So I just decided Blood Moon was safer. But I see now he's going to try to win with Zap. So I'm just like, alright, I need to switch here, obviously, because don't have, or I can Moonlight switch here to Vaporeon because I don't have Blood Moon anymore, and Earth Power won't do anything to Zap. Vacuum Wave also does nothing to it either. So I decided to switch to Vaporeon and try to get off another wish for Zap, for Ursaluna. Zap Roost, it discharges into Vaporeon, does 38. I wish, and then hard switch to Ursaluna, takes rocks damage, and it discharges again, does nothing. Wish heals me to 100, Toxic to 6. And then I decide, okay, I just click Blood Moon and try to kill him, or get him low at least. So Vacuum Man can maybe clean up, depending on his spread. So I'm like, Ursaluna's healthy enough to take Hurricane plus Toxic here. So Hurricane damage plus Toxic here, so I'm fine with that. All it needs to do is not get confused, or if it does get confused, not hit itself. So either way, I'm basically fine. So I go for Blood Moon. He misses Hurricane. I Blood Moon, does 84. And then I like, okay, now's my chance. Vacuum Wave kills Zapdos with a 4. And now I get my Blood Moon back, leaving just the Appleton. And then I Blood Moon a final time, take down Appleton, and your Fire Crown Dallas have beat the Compton Caterpies and their coach Coobykins in RQA Week 6. It was an amazing battle by my opponent, a very tough match to prep for indeed, with Weavile threatening me at all ends, Tusk, Zapdos being annoying as well, Grafai and Appleton also being annoying in their own right. It was a hard match to prep for, and Kooby definitely deserves to, make it to playoffs, and I hope to see you in playoffs, Kooby. Because you are a very good player, and your team is great. Very good. Again, this was one of the hardest matches I've probably had to prep for in my multiple years of Draft League. I won't even lie to you. So GG's Coobykins, and this is TT, your coach of the Fire Crown Dallas, signing off.